The Corpo della Nobiltà Italiana, sometimes indicated with the acronym CNI, is a private association established in 1957 in order to protect heraldic and nobility rights of Italian nobles after the Republican Constitution ended the public recognition and safeguard of nobility titles. Italian nobility. Italy became a single state only in 1861, when during the Risorgimento the Parliament of the Kingdom of Sardinia, elected for the first time with representatives of all territories already conquered or otherwise annexed, adopted its first law stating, and LT, the King Victor Emmanuel adopts for himself and his successors the title of King of Italy and GT. Sardinian Constitution, the so-called Albertine Statute, remained in force for the whole Italy, stating that nobility titles are maintained to those who have right to them. Thus unified Italy had several nobility laws, one for each pre-Unitarian state. That is why its College of Arms, called Consulta Heraldica, was organized in several regional commissions, each corresponding, more or less, to a pre-Unitarian state in order to apply the latter nobility law. A single nobility law started only in 1926 when the female succession, still valid up to then in the former kingdoms of Naples, Sicily and Sardinia, was abolished. Titles could be granted to the eldest male, to all males and to all family members. In all cases, all family members are noble, the condition of noble being the title which pertained to all members of families with or without other titles. Members of family where only the eldest male hold titles are indicated with an LT and LT, noble of the GT, e.g., if Mr. Rossi is granted with the title Baron of Nothing whose succession is for the eldest male, all his issue will be Mr. Antonio Rossi, noble of the Barons of Nothing, and Miss Valentina Rossi, noble of the Barons of Nothing, and the same will apply to all of his descent by male line. Official lists of all Italian families and noble people were published in 1921 and 1933. Nobility under the Republic. Following the establishment of the Italian Republic in June 1946, a new constitution entered in force in 1948, stating that an LT and LT nobility titles are not recognized on GT. As a consequence, they are out of the world of law. Administrative powers may not use them and judges cannot appreciate their existence. The use is not forbidden, but there is no public safeguard against misuse. The association. In order to overcome this lack of safeguard, some Italian aristocrats founded in 1955–1957 the Corpo della Nobiltà Italiana, with the aim of protect historical and heraldic rights of Italian nobles. We can note that the word heraldic is always used by the CNI lato sensu i.e., considering all functions of heralds, not only relating to heraldry but also to all nobility issues. CNI bodies called heraldic are related to whole nobility issues and not only heraldic ones stricto sensu. The first officers were Prince Emilio Guasco Gallerati, Marquesses of Bisio, Chairman; Marquis Don Annibal Brivio Sforza, Marquis of Santa Maria in Prato, Vice-Chairman; Don Enrico Amat of the Marquesses of St. Philip, Vice-Chairman; Prince and Marquis Don Allarame Pallavicino, Chancellor; Baron Alessandro Monti della Corte, Treasurer. Some years later, the association merged with the previous Unione della Nobiltà Italiana, founded beforehand on the example of the French association D'Entraide de la Noblesse Française. Tasks. The CNI aims to keep up to date the official lists of Italian nobles by applying rigorously the rules stated about the matter, the last ones being the Ordinamento dello Stato Nobile Italiano in 1943. People entitled to be inscripted are: 1. Those already inscripted in the official registrars; 2. Those who had a grant of a nobility title after the publication of the lists; 3. Legitimate and natural issue of the latters, meaning issue that is both legitimate, thus excluding children born out of a lawful wedlock, and natural, thus excluding adopted children. Children whose parents married after the birth are considered as fully legitimate as for the scope. 4. Illegitimate born children in whose active legitimacy the succession in nobility titles is expressly provided. 5. Those who prove the descent by a man who had not been included in the lists at the time but whose right is proven according to the applicable rules. Other aims of the mutual assistance among nobles, deriving from unitasks and social events for young noble people. Membership: only nobles can be part of the CNI. Some regional associations allow also wives of nobles, not noble themselves by birth, according to the fact that wife follows husband's nobility condition. Due to the same rule, CNI states that noble women by birth cannot be elected to any office while married to a non-noble man. Organization at local level. The CNI is composed by 14 regional nobility associations, reflecting the organization of the Heraldic Council in the Kingdom of Italy. Each one is autonomous and has a proper statute. They are: 1. Piedmont, 2. Liguria, 3. Lombardy, 4. Veneto, 5. Trentino, 6. Julian March, Istria and Dalmatia, 7. Parma and Piacenza, 8. Modena and Reggio, 9. Tuscany, 10. Romagna, 11. Latium, Umbria and Marches, 12. Neapolitan provinces. They include Campania, Abruzzo, Molise, Apulia, Basilicata and Calabria, 13. Sardinia, 14. Sicily. Each association elect a heraldic genealogical commission, composed by 6 to 21 members for compiling the regional nobility registrar and assessing requests of inscriptions. Each commission elect within its members a chairman, a vice-chairman, a secretary, a delegate to the central heraldic body, and a vice-delegate. Each association can be governed by a council, composed by a president, a vice-president, a chancellor, a treasurer, some councillors and the representative of the youth club. But there is actually no difference between council and commission in all regional associations. At central level, the CNI itself is governed by a National Heraldic Council, composed by all members of regional commissions and the president of the youth club. This body elect the officers and decide main issues both as far as organization and nobility matters are concerned. They can elect a chairman, 6 vice-chairmen, a chancellor, a treasurer, and the representative in the CILANE. Nobility issues, and chiefly the rights to titles, are decided by a central heraldic body, composed by the 14 delegates of the regional commissions. They elect a chairman among all members of regional commissions and one of them as vice-chairman. All CNI members aged less than 35 years are part of the CNI Youth Club that organize social events at national and international level. They elect a president, a vice-president, a secretary, a treasurer, and the CILANE youth delegate, and appoint a delegate in each regional association among its young members. In case of problems between associates, they can elect a court of honor, composed by 3 ordinary members and 2 deputies, expert in law. Ordinary members elect one of them as chairman. The main CNI ruling body is actually the board of directors, composed by con-chairman, con-6 vice-chairman, con-chancellor, con-treasurer, con-delegate to the CILANE, GAC chairman, chairman of the court of honor, president of the youth club, whenever youth issues are discussed. A unique role. CNI consider themselves not to be one nobility association among the several ones existing in Italy, but as the nobility association par excellence. This self-esteem depends on different facts. facts. The king in exile, H.M. Humbert II, considered to be still fons honorum depending on his being a non-defeated monarch, gave the association his high appreciation in the task of recognizing nobility titles. Most Italian nobles recognize its role and task. In recognitions of titles, they strictly apply the existing rules of the Italian state, meaning that, should the state ever restart to recognize nobility titles, rules application would lead exactly to the same recognitions made by the CNI. Not all observers share this view, with various arguments. Nevertheless, the important role played by the CNI as a representative of Italian nobles is recognized by the CILANE, that recognize the Corpo della Nobiltà Italiana as their only Italian member. A tight cooperation with the Order of Malta is operating, too, reaffirming the CNI authority in nobility questions. Lastly, in case of doubts, titles are used as CNI officially state them by the Union of Italian Clubs, most of which still use nobility titles for social purposes. List of Chairman: Prince Don Emilio Guasco Gallerati, Marquesses of Bisio, Noble of Alessandria, Marquess Don Annibal Brivio Sforza, Marquess of Santa Maria in Prato, Patrician of Milan, Don Giovan Pietro of Dukes Caffarelli, Patrician of Rome, Don Gabrio Visconti, Marquess of San Vito, Patrician of Milan, Count Don Gaetano Barbiano, Count and Lord of Belgiojoso, Patrician of Milan, Marquis Duomo Frangipane di Strassoldo, Lord of Castel Porpetto, Patrician of Rome, Luigi Michelini of Counts of San Martino with Rivalta,